we're building up the largest online library of women role models because it's easier to be what you can see. So we interview women from all walks of life and all over the world to tell us their stories, how they got to where they are today. And I'm really excited to talk to Louise Thomas Mins today. Louise, welcome to She Can. You are a skin health expert and therapist and educator, as well as the founder of your own skincare line, the Louise Thomas Skin Care line, which is a skincare line without all the BS, I think. And so tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Oh, well, that's a lovely introduction. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you, and a brilliant summary because yes, it's absolutely something that we are striving to do as a brand, and I've always been passionate about as a, right from being a young skin health therapist. So I've been in the industry of skin and beauty for 28 years this year, and very much started with a Saturday job and an interest in beauty in a salon, scrubbing showers, cleaning nail varnish bottles. So really, starting from the bottom, if you like, but absolutely loved the environment that I was in. I found it fascinating listening to the clients that would come in and the stories they would tell, listening to the therapist give advice, and just being kind of in that whole kind of environment, I think suited me from quite a young age, and quickly realizing that actually it wasn't particularly glamorous at all unless you were on the receiving end of the treatment. But I wanted to be that therapist. I wanted to manage that salon, and I wanted to learn about all of those amazing products that they were talking about. So it was quite an early influence, really, coming from somebody that was very comfortable on her bike in her hoodie and her Converse trainers. So, I used to paint my nails, but that's as far as it went in terms of lots of makeup and being really girly. That wasn't me at all. Yet I had this fascination with the world of beauty and the science, I think, that kind of came with that as well. So that was how I got into the industry initially at probably 16.
Louise, which I love because your whole life you've been, grafting in one job to the next, and you've been consulting a lot of skincare brands. What is
Yeah.
your main motivator now? You've been in it for 28 years. How do you look at it now? What's driving you now?
Yeah, wow, that's a great question. And actually, yeah, I think the reason that I'm still practicing as a skin health therapist, so there's two arms to the business. I'm very much literally hands-on with clients a few days a week, and obviously growing the brand and the skincare range. But what drives me is still seeing the transformations in people's skin health. Knowing our limitations, because of course, I'm not a dermatologist, and I very much stay in that lane with, honest, truthful advice about the results that we can achieve. But having had acne, I've got a real sweet spot for kind of looking after and helping clients with that concern in particular, but actually with lots of different concerns with the skin. So I would say that's my driver and that's my motivator from the therapy side. Seeing the results, seeing the change in that person and the boost of confidence that it gives. It's such a, has such a psychological impact when you've got poor skin health or you've got a plagued with a skin issue. But coupled with exactly what you said at the start of this, we need to stop the BS when it comes to skincare. And I will not talk about our products being non-toxic, clean beauty, all natural, because currently these are not regulated terms, they're marketing terms. And I get very frustrated as a small growing brand that at the moment we can't make the big noise that we want to make about that, but we're doing our bit by banging that drum and continuing to kind of come up with products that are formulated in a way where it comes from a place of research and experience rather than there's a bandwagon, let's jump on that bandwagon. First of all, we can't afford to do that, but secondly, it's not, we come from integrity and education and building a community in skincare. So yeah, they're my two motivators and drivers for both arms of the business.
Louise, so tell us a little bit how you drive your business forwards. What are your challenges and pitfalls? How do you overcome them? What are you most proud of? So give us a bit the two sides of the coin.
Yeah, that's really important to give, because whilst we do a lot of social media, we do a lot of Instagram, and I always come from a place of positivity there, because I feel, actually, rightly or wrongly, for people that is a way of escapism. And for me, I want to, gift people my advice in an upbeat, positive way. However, you're quite right. It is tough behind the scenes, and I think there have been many challenges, certainly from the skincare development side of it, over the last 10 years that we've been really actively trying to do it. I think the first is the challenge around raising finance. Sometimes, as a female founder, I think we're penalised, rightly or wrongly, for that. So that's always a challenge. Cash flow is a challenge. And I think as well, being recognised maybe by those bigger brands in terms of sustainability. So again, we're not jumping on that bandwagon of sustainability because it's really expensive. It's so expensive to try and be sustainable as a beauty brand. And beauty is one of the worst industries, I think, for sustainability. And yet there's not enough out there that allows us to have access to be able to do what we can do. So again, we're doing our bit, but that again, is also a challenge. And I think the last challenge is, we are very small, and it's constantly wearing different hats. And I'm very blessed to have a brilliant co-director who happens to be my husband in the skincare range, who is really supportive and flies the flag and carries us through in lots of ways behind the scenes. But it really is constantly changing those hats, from being a mum, being a therapist, running that business. Now I'm a formulator. Today I need to do marketing, and there's joy with that, don't get me wrong, but it's hard when you can't afford always to outsource things as a smaller company.
Yeah, wearing all the hats really is an incredible challenge, I think, for small entrepreneurs. Even bigger ones, because
Yeah.
that doesn't change so much so quickly.
No, you're right. And actually, do you know what? This sounds a bit odd, really, but I've said this to a few founders before, even those that have got, quite a few people around them helping them, and they're able to kind of outsource or take some of the load off. It's quite a lonely place being a founder or being a CEO, because at the end of the day, it is all on your shoulders. And sometimes you can't always explain that to somebody unless they are a fellow founder and they really get it. So I'm probably jumping ahead with a tip here, but that would be a tip, is to try and surround yourself with like-minded people that you can go, oh, do you know what, this has happened today, and they will absolutely get it, and just be a sounding board, not necessarily give you advice or this is what you've got to do. But it's so important, I think, when you're a founder or a CEO, to have that kind of connection with somebody or a team of people.
Absolutely. So give us some top tips. What are your top tips for people like me, maybe, who struggle in this maze of, millions of skincare brands that promise you God knows what, and don't necessarily want to go down the route? I mean, I would love to be able to age gracefully and not, tinker with every little downfall or sort of aging that I can see. I would love to be able to just do it gracefully, but of course, do the best I can.
Yes, yeah, and that is music to my ears. So if this is a bit of reassurance for those watching, this is honestly what my clients say to me week in, week out. There is absolutely a cohort of mainly females, but we do treat men, who will say what you've just said in terms of, I want healthy skin. I don't mind actually that I've got a few lines and wrinkles. I really want to avoid going for fillers and Botox and, you know, more kind of invasive treatments. I want my skin to be the best it can be. And I really look after my health. So that was the whole point with one of the serums that we launched being called Healthy Aging, because I wanted something that absolutely is supercharged to slow that down. But I'm also not going to say it's anti, why are we anti-aging? It's inevitable, but there is a choice about how we can control that. So I think if you're a consumer and you're looking at a product range, I think, you know, people buy from people. And I know when I'm looking for, you know, whatever it is, whether it's, you know, something to do with exercise or it's a new phone or whatever it is I want to buy, I'm actually buying into that brand, but I'm buying into that brand because who's behind it and is there a level of expertise? So that's something I think we're really trying to get across, that when you're going to buy that product, who makes that product? Who is behind it? Are they a skin expert? Are they a dermatologist? Do they have some knowledge and integrity in this industry? And therefore, hopefully, that will then give you some confidence in what you're using on your skin. Because what I've produced and what many other similar brands like me that are skin experts have produced are not white label. These are products that have been formulated from years of experience, and these ingredients have been cherry picked because they work and do something. So I think that would be a tip. Just find out, learn more about who's behind that brand, you know, where's their knowledge coming from.
Louise, so shout out about your brand. Tell us about Louise Thomas Skin Care. What is it all about?
Well, it's about a passion project that started over 20 years ago. You know, I'm a complete skincare geek. I'm looking just across there at a shelf where there are reams of notebooks stuffed with lots of different notes and drawings and sketches from listening to clients, from working for big skincare brands and being involved with the development and formulation. So it started as a passion project. And it grew into something where I actually thought, you know what, I've got an idea here. I've got a foundation for 5 products here that I know what I want in there. I'm going to work with a chemist. They're going to be an expert in that. I've got a small amount of chemistry knowledge in terms of cosmetic chemistry, but I'm going to work with an expert. And we want to bring out a range that is results driven, produced by experts, but actually doesn't come up with all of these marketing terms that, you know, we're not going to attach claims to it unless there are actual real claims here. So, and the other key thing for me is all of the skin issues that we see will rise from a place of having some barrier impairment. So we may hear about these lovely fatty lipids in our skin that are there to protect and defend. So there's a common theme throughout the range that is growing, where you have this moisturizing complex, again, that I developed with the chemist. And it means that even when you're using the cleanser, which is our hero product, you're washing your skin and you're removing your makeup, for example, but it's supporting your delicate lipid barrier. So you need that kind of integrity with results, but also we want that care and support as well. So yeah, it's about educating consumers and bringing them together as a community.
Louise, so what are the plans and goals for you, for your skincare line for the next years?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's been a real roller coaster. And I know this is, you know, probably many other founders have said that as well, but we've had quite a fight to get these products to launch. And, you know, just as we were coming out of the pandemic, I really thought that it wasn't going to happen. We'd lost an element of investment, but yet we had 25,000 bottles and jars ready to fill at a manufacturer. So we have drip fed them. So we have 3 of the range, the cleanser, the hydrator, and the healthy aging serum launched. And the next plans are we want to get those other 2 out to launch. So we're now working on, you know, they're ready, they're waiting, the packaging's ready, but it's a case of, okay, when can we, you know, raise that finance to do that? So definitely 2 more to come. And we're continuing to grow our presence and awareness in terms of working with other like-minded skin health professionals. So they're going to stock the brand as well across the UK to broaden our reach. And of course, I have reams of notebooks with lots of other ideas as well. So yeah, lots of exciting things ahead for the skincare range, and continuing obviously to treat clients as well, which is so important. It helps me to develop those products down the line as well.
Louise, so I'm wondering if you had a magic wand, what would what would be the one thing you would wish for? And in terms of your investment, I mean, lots of the women I speak to, that is the sort of bottleneck point where a lot of them really struggle. And we both know that 98% of VC money go to men founder companies and only 2% to women. So there is a real lack of investment into women entrepreneurs. And so how are you navigating that?
I think we're navigating that by trying to do as much as we can ourselves in terms of, yes, we've had angel investors in the past, which has worked really well for us. But I think we're also very aware that, to have that control of your company is a really good place to be as well. So we're sort of looking at other ways that we can raise finance, and looking at other mentors as well that perhaps can go, do you know what, that give these guys a look, that really worked for us. So but at the moment it's very much bootstrapping and managing that kind of cash flow and all of the projections financially that go with that as well. And I think if I had a magic wand, oh my goodness, that's a tricky one, because the temptation is to go, well, yeah, I'd have the cash flow to do it, but I still think that there would be a place to have more support, a sounding board, be able to outsource some of the stuff that maybe I'm not so good at, I know I'm not good at, or I just could do with actually spending the time on the stuff that I am good at. So I think that would almost be more important sometimes than having the money just to get those last two products out, because without the support to raise the awareness of the brand, there's sort of no point in bringing those products out. So yeah, that's the magic wand.
Louise, I love everything you said, and thank you so much for taking the time and telling your story, which is really a story of someone who has started from scratch, done 20, almost 3 decades in experience, bringing something to market, being an entrepreneur with a small company, and you've really sort of outlined all the issues that come with it and how you do it to continue and to grow and to scale your business.
Oh, well, thank you again so much, Stephanie, for the opportunity. And if there's one or two little things that I've said that maybe just help other women and support them, or just give them a bit of reassurance, then yeah, that's fabulous.